Manchester United destroyed this weekend by Brentford. Chelsea robbed by the referee. Tottenham pick up some points. Arsenal on absolute fire. We're delving into all of that for you on the top six today. Equally, Frankie de Jong is about to go into final advanced talks with Man United. He's rejected the previous agreed to contract that was offered. He wants more money, confirmed by serious sources out of the Netherlands. That deal is coming to a head. Chelsea and Man United battling. Where will he end up? We're talking Caicedo. Could he be on his way to Arsenal? Man United linked to him as well. We're reviewing the weekend's Premier League games and discussing Liverpool hosting Crystal Palace tonight at Anfield. There's no better place to be for the next couple of hours. Stay with the Football Terrace. Make sure the like button. I'm being very generous tonight. If we hit 1,500 likes while we're live, I'm giving out 100 free memberships. By the way, that's 100 times $2.99. I'm going to give out £300 worth of memberships tonight. 1,500 likes while we're live. We'll get that done. Brilliant panel tonight. KJ's here. He's in misery. He's here to back Man United and talk football. Colleen is here, happy as a pig in muck after Arsenal's start to the season. Tom Little, repping Liverpool, feeling a bit nervous about tonight, we've been told, which is a strange one. We've got man like Roy ready to, he was fuming yesterday. I'm sure he's still angry about being robbed. And there he is, the cat that got the cream. A terrible performance, but they walk away with an undeserved point from Stamford Bridge. Patrick's here. Patrick's here, repping Tottenham Hotspur. How is everybody doing?
Just like Man United's transfer plans, I am all over the place. Look at me. I'm in my Inter kit today. What the hell? I should be proud of the new season. I should be, you know what, yeah, for the first time in like 2 years, let me wear a United shirt on stream. That's what I should be doing. But no, yeah, I'm here.
I was wondering why I hadn't seen you or Terry in a United shirt for ages.
Bro, protests, fam. Bro, I need to get on to Neeks about that. He's always wearing his United shirt, bro. Stop wearing your United kits. Him and AG, bro. I need to talk to them.
And Kaz too.
Oh, yeah. Wait. No, Kaz wears retro. He gets a pass in it.
Oh, retro. Okay. Retro doesn't count.
He's got the knowledge scarf as well, so it's all right. They've got the knowledge scarf in the back.
We're obviously going to get onto that a little bit later, but all Man United merchandise makes the club money. So I don't care, retro, anything. You're wearing it, you're a Glazer. That's my take anyway. But I'm sure we'll move on to it. And look, there's no better place to start than with Manchester United. We will talk transfers in the show, so stay with us, as we've already mentioned. But United ripped apart, not just ripped apart, beyond embarrassed. You know, I said that earlier on. There isn't any. It's funny because I was in the group chat. Oh, Terry's going to get cooked. You can't cook me. I've already cooked Man United for you. Like, there's nothing you can say to me to make me more embarrassed than the abomination, the absolute rancid performance my football club put out on Saturday evening. It was probably the lowest moment I've had as a Manchester United fan. There's nothing that can be said to make me feel worse. And I'm going to be honest with you, because the fans aren't willing to do what's needed to get rid of the owners, I don't know where we go from here. So I'm going to hand it over to the panel. But why are Man United so bad, and why are Man United finished?
Can I just say that this is a safe space, guys? So tell, I know you got a little bit hot under the collar over the weekend, but you and KJ, feel free to let loose. It's a very safe space.
You know what? Yeah, Colleen, you weren't doing.
Let this be a therapy session.
You guys weren't about therapy when your team's in the mud, innit? You know what I mean? So don't be doing up therapy now, bro. You know what I mean? You guys were hella salty.
In the mud,
let us have our salt, bro. Okay, in all seriousness, Man United are finished because we are finished from top to bottom. We're rotten to the core. When your owners don't care about how the football club is doing, when they live in Florida, when we're waiting for them to give approval to transfer targets, and yet we have to wait hours and hours on end for them to flip and wake up from on their ranch. That's a start of why your club is not running properly.
AJ, what's wrong with the ranch?
The ranch, bro. That man don't deserve the ranch, man. They deserve the gutter, fam. Look at them. They belong in the sewers, bro. Master Splinter can go train them to become ninjas or something.
KJ, this is where we disagree. You've said this about them a lot. They don't. The Glazers deserve. Every football club in England should have a statue of the Glazers outside their ground. The Glazers have systematically destroyed Man United. They've made hundreds of millions out of our football club. They've become richer because of us, and fans still continue to give them money. Like, the Glazers are some of the smartest people in the history of football. They've become richer more famous, wealthier. They bought a club for nothing because they bought it with debt that we paid for. It's now valued at about £5 to £6 billion. They ain't stupid. They're smart. The dumb people are the Man United fans giving them their money.
Right, you're getting onto the fans, Tell. So,
of course,
because I saw Terry, I saw your rant, and obviously I saw you talk about the fans, and I know a lot of fans were pissed off with what you. Why is it the fans' fault? Why are you blaming the fans?
Yeah, that's
the
what's
fans
confusing me.
Yeah, because the fans do not have a say in the performance.
Like,
the
it's got to
fans
be
do
a
not have a say in the
structural thing,
transfers.
surely.
I'll give you an example. It's nobody's fault. Do any of you on this show control Boris Johnson?
No, obviously not.
No. But if you then vote for him in next time round, you're accountable for helping keeping him in power, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not that he can be. He's left now as an example.
Yeah.
Man United fans are not accountable for what the Glazers have done initially. But we do nothing tangible to try and get them out. We tweet, we moan, we wear green and gold, we get a game called off. What do I suggest? You know what I suggest? You see my video. You pull the money out of the football club. It's the only way. Let me ask you this question. Every Man United fan goes, they're greedy, money-hungry owners that only care about making money. Then don't make them any money.
But I'm sorry, as in Terry, the numbers that what doing such will generate, I just don't think it will actually dent the Glazers enough to the point where they even.
No, it's not. It's not about.
So, like, surely there's more substantial action to take.
No, Roy. It's not just. It's not about making them have zero income. That's impossible.
No, I get that.
They have sponsors. They have all these. But the sponsors care that fans are in the stadium. The sponsors care that the fans are buying the products. We have had Adidas few years ago, or like a couple of years ago. Actually, no, not even a couple of years ago. Last year, asking us, wait a sec, what's happening with the shirt sales? Why are they so low? Why are we getting abuse in our comments? Like, sponsors know this. TeamViewer have already cancelled any renewals for our for after their contract.
All right, let me throw something.
We're done. Sorry, Patrick, but these things do matter. These things matter. Mm-hmm. The fact that if no fans were in the stadiums, if no fans were buying the products, buying the sponsors, the main reason for sponsors sponsoring Manchester United goes. Like, yeah, they might get some change still, but it's like, wait, we want to cater to your thousands of fans, get your product in front of all your thousands of fans for them to buy, but yet they're not buying it. We're wasting our money and our time, so they pull away. When the sponsors pull away, that's when flipping the Glazers like crap. Our main, if you want to call it main income stream, it's gone.
And beyond Man United's income, the majority of the money the Glazers are made out of Man United, and I'll find you guys the article and send it to you. Over £500 million has been made by selling non-voting right shares via the stock market. If you reduce the incomes, you publicly state you're not buying merchandise, and you stop buying merchandise. If you start getting more and more games boycotted, you make the atmosphere at the ground bad by there being no fans. Therefore, the TV viewing figures drop on Manchester United games. These things bomb the share price. They can't make money. Like, they don't. The Glazers take between 10 and 20 million pound a year out of the club in dividends. For billionaires, that's a drop in the ocean. The hundreds of millions of pounds they've made off of us in the stock market in the last decade is where they make their money. Because what they will do, people start investing when the share price is low. They bring in a star player, or they bring in a new manager, and there's a bump in share price. They then sell off loads of the non-voting right shares to people and make tens of hundreds of millions of pounds. And then as a club starts to dwindle again when it's run poorly, people sell their shares. They don't want to lose their investment. The Glazers buy them back. They've just been rinse repeating this for a decade. None of this stuff is discussed enough. At the same time, our stadium is falling down. We had the best training facility in the country 15 years ago. It's ranked somewhere like 30th across all elite sports. The stadium was the best. It's now falling apart. There's so many things they don't invest in. There's so many things that they waste our money on. There's so many things that they do wrong, pulling the money away, crashing the share price, damaging. I'm being serious here. Damage the brand of sponsors. Go online every day. 1-star ratings, crash stuff, ruin it.
I don't think that's quite moral. I'm not going to lie.
That is moral.
Damaging the sponsors.
Why not?
What did the sponsors do to you lot?
I'll tell you what the sponsors are doing. Our football clubs are all built by the working classes of this country. Working class men and women built these football clubs from nothing. They're ours, right? And they're being infiltrated by billionaires and corporations that don't care about us. They care about making money. When you guys were all willing to stand up against your clubs when the Super League got involved because it was wrong for the game. Well, the Glazers are wrong for the game. But none of you care about the Glazers because it doesn't impact your football club. But what the Glazers do to Man United is exactly what the Super League was going to do to football. Suddenly everybody cared because it impacted their club. It impacted their community. It impacted their fan base. Man United fans have every right to go out there and damage nothing physical, nothing, no fighting, no physical threats, nothing that's going to hurt anybody physically. But you've got every right to damage anything that's ruining your football club. Because these football clubs are not these brands primarily. They are born and bred from local communities. And some have been very lucky to spread nationwide and worldwide. But football clubs mean more to people than just a game of football. They're a beacon. They're a symbol. They're part of the community. And this football club has had its heart ripped out by these owners. And the fans need to do something tangible. So when I say they're accountable, they're not accountable for the Glazers being the Glazers. But I believe, and I truly believe this, the fans hold the power to insert change. Yeah. Just like Black Bulls fans did. Just like Leyton Orient's fans did, as an example. There are dozens of examples of fan bases coming together to rid themselves of owners. Man United fans have just got to grow enough of a backbone in some cases, and all the others have just got to realize that funding the Glazers is going to keep them here. Do you know why? Because they only care about making money. And if you're a sponsor that's thinking of getting involved, let's let the sponsors know. We don't want your money. We want you to walk away. We want the Glazers to sell. Then we'll come back to supporting you. Because the only reason a sponsor pumps money into your club is to make money off the fans. You guys aren't buying Man United sponsor products. Man United fans are. So if we buy our sponsors' products, they're making profit. The club makes more money. The Glazers stay. It's a complete cycle. And until we stand up against it, we are going to stay in the mud.
Yeah, you know what?
You know what? Just real quick, I almost think you're too big to do what you said there. Is fantastic. That's what you should be doing if you want to get your owners out. You need to be making all these protests. But I almost think United is too big for these protests to happen, because for every fan that's going to sit there, for every season ticket holder is going to go, no, I'm not going to the game, I'm not buying my ticket, I'm not buying any merchandise. There'll be someone else who goes, oh, it's a day out in Manchester. And go to Man United.
So what do we do? This is what I want to ask you guys, though, because rival fans love to chat about the Glazers saying they're not that bad. They only do this, they spend money, blah, 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 which is our money, by the way. They've never spent none of their money on us. What the hell do we do then? Because we're too big to protest. We can't riot because that's illegal. You know what I mean? We can't complain because
you can protest.
What the hell did we do then?
And that was going to be my question to both you, Terry, and KJ, because like Tom's saying, you guys are such a worldwide club with a massive fan base. It's not like you're Bradford Town or Luton City, where if the fans don't go, that's it. There's only local fans that go there. You know, you've got American tourists, you've got Asian fans, you've got fans from Africa. If you guys don't fill the stadium, they'll fly in and take those tickets.
75,000 fans from around the world will fill up the Old Trafford.
75,000 fans won't. There's not 75,000 people a week ringing up Man United saying, please. I gave my season ticket up 6 years ago in protest. They still message me every year asking if I want one back. The waiting list there used to be a 10-year waiting list. That's gone. Every year, Mr. Flewers, would you like your season ticket back? So they're begging people to come back and get into that stadium, right? It's a fallacy. Every year they phone me. Equally, this is what you got to remember. Why does the Premier League sell more around the world than anywhere else? There's a very simple answer to this, and it was discussed. I've got to try and find the clip from the TV show. Our crowds, not Man United's, but our fans in England, make a very unique noise. There's lots of great clubs around Europe whose fan bases are electric, but they don't have it 20, 30, 40 clubs deep in a lot of countries. We're very unique in that way. Very, very unique in this country. The noise that our stadiums make and the match-going fans make is what transcends football to another level when you're watching it on television. We all saw the difference when we watched lockdown football. Even with the imitation noise, it did not sound like football. It was gone. If you fill Man United up with tourists, BT Sports, Sky Sport, all the international broadcasters will be knocking on the Premier League's door, and in turn, Man United's going, this isn't the atmosphere we want. It will sound like Soccer Aid. Soccer Aid is not the atmosphere you want at football. So people, listen, there's not, so far, no one's given me a reason. You guys, nobody, or someone else will buy my ticket. Well, there's two things to that. Well, you've done your bit. You know, someone else might vote for the Tories, but I haven't. So I'm morally in the right position, in my opinion, right? I don't care if Joe Blogg down the road does. I'm not going to go, well, I'm going to vote because everybody else is going to vote for them. One of the weakest things people say in politics is I'm not going to vote for the right party because it's a wasted vote because they won't win. But if everybody has that attitude, they won't bloody win, will they? Second element is this. If they fill it up full of tourists and there's no singing, there's no noise, it sounds like Soccer Aid, the TV broadcasters who are the biggest contributors of money will come knocking on the door. There is a method to this. This just needs people to stand up and actually not care. People do care. And I've got to be very careful of my words. But people have got to redirect what they think love is. tough love is what's needed right now. Now, I'm going to ask you this question, Roy, because I think you've got quite a tough mother because we've had some conversations about her. When you were younger...
wait. Oh, hold on.
I reckon your mum was like, you weren't playing out with your friends when there was homework to do, were you?
No, I wasn't. That's not really how a Nigerian household runs.
Exactly, right? I didn't want to go into that. I didn't want to mention the nationality, but I know you're from Nigerian background, and I've got a lot of Nigerian friends, and I know what it was like. The point is, your mum wasn't being mean to you. She was showing you tough love, and that's put you in a very good position in your life. Tough love is what's needed at Manchester United now. Going to the ground, buying the shirts, buying the lunchbox, pumping your money in, I know it feels like love. I know it feels like love. But what Man United fans have got to realize is 40-year season ticket holder, if 100, if 200, if 1,000, 40, 50-year season ticket holders gave their tickets up, got together on a big platform and spoke to the international fans and said, listen, we've done this because it's the right thing to do. We're pleading with you not to pump your money in either. The international fans love their football club enough. They'll go, we'll follow suit. It's so easy, in my opinion, if people do the hard bit. The hard bit is convincing people to do it. Once you've done it and enough people do it, these Glazers will change. And I know why they'll change, because they only care about money. And people that only care about money are the most controllable people in the world because they just follow the money trail. And if you're going to start losing it, they'll sell and they'll go on to another organization to bleed dry. And as long as it ain't Manchester United, I don't really care who else they rip off. I just care about my club.
All I'm saying, you say tough love. Now, bun that, we need violent love, fam. If these man want to go stadium and buy flipping the kits, cool, do that and storm the pitch every flipping week, bruv. The stewards ain't gonna try and stop you.
Stop
No. Listen,
as rival fans, we want the games to go ahead.
No. I don't care about you guys. Get the 3 points now. You guys get the 3 points. Free points. I want these guys gone.
The league doesn't want to see United
listen to what I'm saying.
Even though you already do that.
Listen, these people, they can't stop us from rioting, bruv. They can't. I'm not saying smash up Old Trafford. I'm not saying to harm any of the players. I'm saying every home game, get 3 points deducted from us every single week, and then make sure that these Glazers know that if until we sell, we are tanking you, bruv. We will tank you to the ground.
That's the exact point I wanted to make, because I think that you guys have already touched on the points of things that need to happen, but I think as well it does seem like, as an outsider looking in, that a lot of the United fan base is quite divided around this issue, around the best practices. So an option is getting people not to, not come into Old Trafford consistently. Whether that would work or not, who knows? You can only try these things. But I'm with you guys. I'm feeling the passion, because if this was Arsenal, and considering that we kind of have a similar not exactly the same, but a similar relationship with our owners, similar American style, we feel like they don't care, they don't put enough money in, X, Y, and Z. I genuinely feel like the next thing you need to do outside of, actual fan push things is either the team has to keep going on the trajectory that they're going and seriously tank, or you force them to tank by doing what you said. Now, I understand. Listen, I love football. We all love football. We want to see games go ahead. We don't want to be seeing games called off and things like that. But if we're at a point, and I'm putting myself in the position of a United fan, I don't see the Glazers just selling, and it's even becoming a bit of a mockery now. We all mock the green and gold, we could call you your little Norwich fan, things like that. It's starting to become a bit of a mockery. And I know it never intended to be like that. Even myself, when I see anyone, after United lost, I'm like, I get your Norwich scarf out. So if I'm not taking it seriously, why should the Glazers? I genuinely do agree with KJ. I think you really have to force the issue. And if that means get deducted 3 points, if that means push you towards a relegation zone type of area, and I know it seems so dramatic and so, why do we have to go that far? I just don't think everything else is currently working, / not everyone's on board. So I think
you're so spot on. And what I've a few people have reached out to me. I've had Sky presenters and people that are were YouTubers and I work for TV companies. So saying I'm wrong to blame fans. I'm wrong to do this. Listen, I'm more. A lot of people don't know who the hell I am. So they'll be like, who's this dude blaming me? I ain't listening to him. And I get that. I am obviously talking to my audience. So people that follow me and people that watch me. And if you watch and follow me, you've seen me speak about this for 9+ years on social. Some of you, it's been a little bit less. But every other option to fix the club has been discussed. Sell this player, sack this manager, change formations, get rid of Pogba, get rid of Rooney, get rid of Fellaini. Jose's the problem. Ollie's the problem. Do you remember 18 months ago in here, guys? Ollie's a problem. Get rid of him. Bring in a good manager. We win the Premier League, they said. Every other option. And some of the guys from the United View, I like the United View, really good channel. Some of their guys kind of called me out very politely, by the way. We've spoken DMs. And I remember having a debate on a show me and Flex did 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 2018, 4 years ago. Sorry, my timing's wrong. And he was talking, and I remember sitting there and saying to him, I said, do you really think sacking Jose is going to fix us? And he didn't go, yeah, 100%. He wasn't deluded. He was like, no, I think better manager, better this, better that, get rid of him. He's toxic and it would improve. And I said, I think we'll be back in the same position with the next manager. And we are. I've had all these conversations before with people. And if we don't make the change in the Glazers stay in 18 months, in 24 months, 36, we're all going to be sitting on this show again. And I'm going to be saying the same thing again. And I'm not sitting here trying to say I told you so, because it isn't about me being right or wrong. It's about every other method being tried and tested, and from protests to sacking of managers, and we're getting worse. So we have to do something drastic. And it's either take the money away or do what KJ said. You get every single home game systematically called off one after the other. And yeah, it will annoy fans and yeah, it will annoy rivals, but this is what Man United are not getting any help from rivals. Rivals aren't helping getting the Glazers out. I don't care if it ruins your weekend. My weekend is ruined every single weekend because of these owners. And people will say, "Oh,
can I just point something out when you're finished?" Because I get this whole, we need to get home games called off, but I honestly only see that working once, maybe max twice. Because, firstly, I think Greater Manchester Police will eventually develop enough of a presence to ensure the home game goes ahead. And secondly, I don't even think it will be a case of it being called off. I think it will just get postponed because, whilst protesting is good, in order for it to have the desired impact you want, especially on a club of this size, it needs to be consistent. And inevitably, with a protest of that size, I think over time the numbers would eventually drop to the point where its effectiveness is effectively.
No, it hasn't though. It still works because you just said if we kept on doing it, the police presence was there. The police presence will be there. The claims will be going, but less people will go. So either way, we get less people going to the stadium.
Who pays for police at football matches?
It's a team, right?
The club, the football club does.
Yeah,
so if you have to quadruple, if you have to take police from other forces to make it work, because they're not going to have no police walking the streets in Manchester, who bears the cost? Suddenly home games are costing millions of pounds more to put on. Whose bottom line does that impact? The Glaze, everything works, but it just takes effort. And the thing is, by the way, making games get called off is a lot more effort than just pulling your money away. Pulling your money away is quite an easy thing to do. Just step back, go see you later. Once you've done it, right? But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this moving forward. On more positive news, Frankie de Jong. This afternoon, me and KJ were in a meeting, and the news came out, and the news was Frankie de Jong rejects Manchester United, and it was not another nail in the coffin. More frustration. But since then, the kind of news has sort of changed slightly. I want to read this out. This is what's been stated by Michael van der Crane and by Mike Verveil. De Jong has rejected the offer that was initially made by Manchester United, with it not meeting his new financial demands. New negotiations will begin. So De Jong is, according to the top two journalists coming out of the Netherlands, Man United will start new conversations with De Jong this week about a new contract. Chelsea is still heavily involved in this as well. I know that it's been a big talking point all summer. But what's going to happen with De Jong now, people? Chelsea, Man United are staying. We're getting down to the final 2 weeks. Clearly, he's talking to the teams that are interested in buying him. Clearly, it's about these deferred wages. But how's this going to go, people?
I'm shocked he still wants to go to United at this point. I'm shocked he still wants to go there.
Yeah, like Patrick said, I've predicted it since the start. I think he stays. As in, I just think Barcelona, they've been shithouses this whole window. We think they have no money. Yet they've signed 6-7 players. They've managed. I think they've registered them all apart from Koundé, who will probably get done maybe next week sometime. And they still somehow find a way to survive. And I think one thing needs to be clear: Barcelona don't want to sell Frankie because he's not good. They want to sell him to make money, and he wants to stay there so much. So the impasse is he doesn't want to reduce his wages, and they don't want to pay him what he's on. And I think the fact he loves the club so much, his partner's really happy because that does play a part in decisions that footballers make, like how comfortable their family are, etc. I just think the fact that he got abused by some fans, which he shouldn't have. I just think he'll eventually just bend over to their will, and take a salary cut and end up staying. And
no, I disagree. I think he goes purely because I mean
why wouldn't he have gone already, Colleen?
But no, Roy, you're asking the one question. Why has he not just agreed to what he to the demands already? It's easier to agree to be like, yeah, you know what? Because I love the club so much, let me just stay. All right, cool. It's easier to do that than be like, no, I want to sit here and wait for my wages and then go.
Realize, okay,
it's called negotiations. That's a negotiation tactic.
Exactly.
That's what you do, though. You don't
considering how much he loves that club. They have treated him like garbage this window.
Yeah,
and shove him away at every possible opportunity.
And they've treated
the court, everything. Like
but the thing is, they've treated PK, they've treated Sergio Busquets, all of them man the same, and they've done it, but they've done it now. The season's here. PK was like, no, screw it. I'm gonna get paid little to nothing because the season's here. I want to start playing for my club again because I love it. If he truly was on the love thing, I reckon by now he would have just dealt with it.
United might be a bit of a mess, but I don't think Chelsea are that degree of a mess that United are, who would stay in there. Even I think they'd be ridiculous for United. But if he genuinely was going to stay, in my opinion, I don't know how another club then comes to the table. Something has most certainly been said. And I think it comes down to who's going to pay the deferred wages. And I think United... I think United, their results is actually helping Barcelona's hand. It's like, and everything that's going on in and around United, if they want Frankie, they do that because it just.
United can't exactly say no to him at the minute after watching these.
Boy, listen, I think we try but fail. I think Chelsea are just doing the smart thing. Let us deal with all the bad baggage. Let us deal with all the press. Let us deal with Barcelona, get the prices to where it needs to be. All Barca need to do is inform Bowley, because apparently Laporta and Bowley have a really good relationship already. Just had to be like, oh yeah, this is what Man United agreed. Would you want to do the same? All he has to say is yes. Boom, deal done.
Frankie's obviously saying things to his agent and to United and Chelsea. There's no way and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but low-key do. He might be playing United, but I don't think he play United and Chelsea. It's just
why not, bro? Why not? He's getting his. Wait, listen. If we're saying it's about peas, listen, Colleen. If we're saying it's about money. If we're saying it's about money, people will do a madness for their money, you know. So if it's playing three sides to get his peas, and this is not me trying to bag on him saying he's a money hungry player. No. Get what you're owed, my brother.
And he's a mercenary.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, bro. I'm saying get what you're owed.
I'm gonna pay his wages. I think that's how it ends. Either Chelsea, United, one of you.
Yeah, I think we're willing to pay his wages as well.
He stays, man. Come on, he stays. Like we ain't got long left.
I just think
I really don't see him staying. Not with all the noise around Bernardo. If City are really interested in Bernardo Silva, Barca are really interested in Bernardo from City, something's going to have to give there, because Frankie de Jong goes even further down the pecking. He's not scheduled to get many minutes anyway this year. They've been playing him at centre back in pre-season, for Christ's sake. But you chuck another player ahead of him in that pecking order. For his career, he has to go. He's going into the prime of his career, and he's being benched by Busquets, Gavi, Pedri, Bernardo, whoever else they've got. He's not getting a look in. It's a World Cup year. He needs to be playing football, because we've seen what's his name? It's not Van Gaal, yeah. He doesn't hold any. He doesn't have any loyalties. That man will drop players if they're not playing football. He needs players playing football, and Frankie de Jong's run a risk if he stays at Barcelona of throwing away a year, especially if there's fire with the Bernardo Silva smoke. Because if they get him over the line, who knows about maybe even Frankie to City if they get desperate enough and they want a midfielder.
If Man City were about it, I don't know if Man City have like a set wage structure. That's why, as much as I hate them, I've actually a lot of respect for them, because they have a way of doing things. And if you don't abide by that, it ain't happening. Look at Cucurella. We say 40. You want 50? No. We say 40. If it's not 40, it ain't happening. They stuck by it, and I respect that. You know what I mean? So with De Jong, the Man City are not just going to be like, oh, here's 350 to 450k because of your deferred wages. They will not do that. I don't care if it's a trade deal. They ain't doing it.
Yeah. I listen to what everyone's. I mean, it could go anyway, because no one's in his mind. Again, if he was going to stay and he was willing to take a pay cut, he'd have done it already. No, and the thing that it's been briefly touched on by the media is, well, if he stays without the pay cut, what are Barca going to do to him? And I don't know. There's there's court cases, there's fans already giving him abuse. There's, if he stays and he takes that money, keeps his money, and they do well, they have a good season, it will kind of go under the carpet. If they ain't as good as they think they're going to be, and things start going wrong, we know how fickle football fans can be, and who will Laporta turn this on? If we could have just got Bernardo Silva, if we could have just, that's what they'll do, because these guys are like that. Like, he has to be very, very mindful of it. I think that, I've said it all along, I think he'll leave. I think this has always been about deferred wages. I'm not going to change my mind on that, because it's the top tier ones haven't mentioned it. And that's because they don't want to go in that far. Because when you go into that whole thing about it being deferred wages, you leave yourself in a position where if the guy ends up staying at the club and folds and takes that pay cut, you've gone out and said, we know what the world's like now. If you're a journalist and you get things wrong, you get absolutely destroyed. Like, you saw Chris Wheatley. I know he stated yesterday that he wasn't sacked. I'm not saying he was sacked, but the guy got one thing wrong this summer, and we barely saw a tweet from him afterwards. I know he's got a good new job now at Nottingham Forest and stuff, but it's like, that's a career swing. You know what I mean? Ironically, it made me laugh. I quite like Chris Wheatley. But Lee Gunner used to say he was purely a PR merchant and he'd spin things for the club. His job literally now is spinning things for a club. It's great. It's the irony, the absolute irony of it. But yeah, look, I think it's one of those things to me. I think that Chelsea, though, will get him as and when something's decided. I agree with KJ. I think Chelsea is just going to sit in the grass, like a tiger does, and wait for that prey to walk past and boom, jump out from nowhere, from camouflage, and take him away. I think Man United fans have got more pain on the horizon when it comes to this. I really, really do. And he's such a fantastic player. When I watched Chelsea yesterday, I just thought, imagine a De Jong and a clinical attacker. Like, you beat Chelsea. We're going to get onto the game in a minute. You beat Spurs 5-6-0 because you're so Tottenham.
Never that.
Unbelievable.
On the animations, you have like the little animal, and then the tiger comes and eats it. But then some bigger animal takes away the tiger. That's what Chelsea are. They're like the big animal right at the end of the process, just yamming everybody. That's
the food chain. No, I get that completely.
The thing is, I said we were above United in the food chain, and people didn't listen, man.
Who didn't listen to you, Roy?
Who didn't listen to that? Well, it always depends. Do you know what it is? It's the wording of things, right? Because people, this is how you get under a Man United fan's skin. All of your clubs are better than us right now. But barring Liverpool, none of you are bigger than us, barring maybe Liverpool. And I think it's the word when people go, you're not a big club anymore. We are a big club, because if Brighton got beat 4-0 by Brentford, no one would be talking about it. Like, we're no longer a big club, and getting beat by Brentford 4-0 isn't like one of the biggest, most shocking results in world football. But that's when the United fans get, no, you're not bigger than us. You're just better than us right now, no doubt. I want to go to these super chats, though, and respect the viewers here. Cornwall to Manchester for the derby Monday. Originally for a stag, now for a protest. Our club are a shambles. I don't know how to defend them anymore. Do you know what, Cam? Listen, my bro, I respect the journey, because I used to do London to Manchester all the time. Home games or away games. I used to look forward to West Ham away because it was 10 minutes from my house. It was great. Every year in the FA Cup third round, I begged we got Leyton Orient, and it never. Arsenal got them, but we never got them. But listen, I hear it, mate. And as you say, you're going there to protest, and that's something. And as I say, listen, I will say this to Man United fans: if you choose to go to games, I don't think any less of you. It's just one of these things. When people ask for my opinion about what I think will work, I'm going to say it. If someone asks me, do I think giving the Glazers money damages change from happening, I'm going to say yes. It's not about trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just expressing an opinion. And if it offends people, it's not my fault. It isn't my fault, because it's what I believe will work. Man United are 5 years behind Arsenal. We could very well be. We're falling further and further away. Legitimate question: how do you stop the shirt sales and product sales in Asia, Middle East, and America? Listen, do you know what's interesting? And my channel is very small compared to some of the others, but I get messages daily, weekly. Brother, I'm watching from Singapore. I'm watching from Nigeria. I'm watching from Sydney. I'm watching from Atlanta. I love what you do. If all the influencers, if the top reds came out, if people did it, it was spread across the world. The internet's there. These people would see it. And equally, it isn't even the fact of, if they still sell 50,000 shirts a year when they're released in Malaysia. I'm just using that as an example because it's a huge, dedicated fan base out there. Fair enough. But just noisy fans publicly stating we're not buying Adidas shirts anymore, bomb share prices. It all will work and things will catch on. They really will. Man United fans want to help each other. They want to do the right thing. They just need the influential people to start it. But when you get some of the biggest Man United influencers in the world doing the unboxing of the new shirt that's been gifted to them by the football club, how are you going to convince anybody to not buy their merchandise? But that's because those people don't believe it's going to work, so they do it. And you've also got to remember, people have their vested interests. There'll be content creators that are now working alongside Sky Sports that have now got access to Man United. Do you think one of them is going to go on the internet and be like, boycott the club, the Glazers? No, they're going to lose what they've worked so hard in their careers for. And I understand all of this, by the way. And I don't judge people for it. You know, if you're someone that's built up, been working hard for 5, 6, 5, 10, 15, 20 years to, you might be a journalist who's a Man United fan that's worked tirelessly to get access to the football club, to report on it, to grow your career. If maintaining that career and your income is more important than boycotting the club and getting the Glazers out, I totally respect that. I totally respect it. I don't think you're a bad person, and I'm talking in generalities, not about individuals. But doing that isn't going to help get the Glazers out. If you want me to be honest, what I'm not going to do is yield on my opinion to save people's feelings. The only people angry with me know that I'm kind of right. People, that's the general rule. Oh, Terry's right, but he's calling me out. I'm not calling you out, bro. If you want to go to games, like, I've got friends of mine that still go to games, and they're like, bro, what are you saying this for? I'm like, bro, it ain't about you per se. It's just what I think, you know. I'm disappointed. The fans are the main reason why a team do well or not, regardless of buying merch. It's also the standards. The more pressure by fans to raise the standards that owners need. This is true. What I will say to you guys that challenged me earlier is this as well. You guys will all say this at some point about your club. The fans are the most important part. We're the most important part. We're the ones that should be listened to the most when we want something. But when it's us that might be damaging it, we have no influence at all. We chop and change when fans are important in football. And that's the bit for me. If we're the most important people, use that power. Use it. Do you know what I mean? Just like my missus does. She has that power, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Stop that.
Malacia is the most valuable. Who? I don't know what that is.
Musiala from
the most valuable player in the world. Thank you very much for letting us know. I know that he plays for Germany, right?
But yeah,
he plays for Bayern.
He is English. When he English or partly?
He was born. I think he was either born in Germany and came over here. Or was born over here, played for Chelsea, then went back.
I'm saying he's English.
Don't mention KJ, man. It still hurts, man.
We are letting Gardner go for Rabiot, who performed worse than McTominay in the league when a 36-year-old Ashley Young won the league title, and Lukaku looked good. Bro, I'm so scared of that transfer. Seeing Colleen makes my day. You're stunning, is what that person says. Thank you. That wasn't a thank you to you. That was thank you to somebody that's just getting me another drink. The international, but the look. I don't need ice in the drink now. The look gave me the ice. The international fans aren't the ones to blame for filling the stadiums and buying the merch. We are internet. We see fan cams. We know the Glazers are. Listen, I ain't blaming any particular fan. I think international fans are fantastic. You should stop watching United games as well. Listen, I'm not going to listen. I can't talk publicly about that. That's all I'm going to say. I can't. People keep saying
a long day if you start doing that. It's a long day if you start doing that.
Allegedly, you can do that.
Allegedly, you can do it. Big up my fellow Niger, bro. I hate your club, though. I love that. Him and the club hate each other, is what's been said here. Our fan base knew at least he's better than attitude for signing is dangerous. We need to use our youngsters. Zach here says Jong is just keeping his options open in case he needs to leave. I think he gets sorted and stays at Barca. If the Glazers stay, how can they fix this mess? They can just employ the right people and start investing money, but they're not going to do it. You know, Man United's owners have invested £0 into the football club since they've been here. £0. You know, zero. Even Kroenke's put about nearly 300 million of his own money in. Bulk of United's profit comes from TV rights. Shirt sales won't make a big difference. Yeah, but the bulk of the money the Glazers make from the club is through the valuation of the club. So when you stop buying merch, and by the way, Man United's merchandise, it's only shirts where we only make a small amount. Every other bit of Man United merchandise, we own the rights to. So it's more lunch boxes and fucking flasks and backpacks for kids. And I bought my kids my young son a spinny spinner, a little fidget spinner that had Man United on it. That's gone in the bin, mate. That's gone in the bin.
Fool you, Terry.
I was done all them years ago. Thank you so much for the drink. Thank you. Tuchel and Conte. We'll get onto that a little bit later. KJ took away one that was about Chelsea. Don't delete them. Don't delete them because I had a Chelsea.
That was you, bro.
Off field is how Liverpool is bigger than United. Off field, how is Liverpool bigger than United? They're not. United need to take a backward step to move forward. I hear you on that. Listen, we're going to move on now, though, because there's super chats about it. We are talking Chelsea. We are talking Tottenham. We are talking one of the biggest robberies in Premier League history. We saw yesterday. We saw sadomasochism on the football pitch. Patrick.
Please, yeah.
No. Don't let him speak, because he's going to come around with his little monologue. Yeah, wait, let me land, Patrick. Let me land. He's going to come with his little monologue around support, Spurs and la 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 la. 1 week ago on this very show, Patrick said that Tottenham were thrashing Chelsea, not a humble beating, not even a draw. He said that they're thrashing them 3-1. Kane, Son, Kulusevski, they're gonna run a riot. He says, Koulibaly, who's that? That's what you said. Sterling, you make him look like a bum. Now, I just want to remind everyone of that. Patrick, go.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Testing. Can I rap? Is my mic working? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Go ahead.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Nice. Big screen. Okay. First things first. I see all the comments. I see everyone coming for me on Twitter. It's all good. You see these veins? Inject it, baby. Inject it. Because that was us at our worst. That was Chelsea at their best. I've not seen Chelsea play good in the whole of 2022. That's the best I've seen Chelsea play. That's probably the worst you've seen us play. Our front three were non-effective. And guess what? We still walked out of there with something. So that shows me that there's progress there. Everyone was talking about, you got no chance against Chelsea, Stamford Bridge, you never get anything there. Yeah, I was confident that we was going to win. I was. Looking at the way we've been playing, look at Son, Kane, Kulusevski, looking at how crap Chelsea have been, if we're just keeping it 100. Chelsea struggled against Everton last year. They just about got a result there from a penalty. And I give it to them. They were good on the day. They totally played us off the park. I give it to them. But at the end of the day, if you don't finish your dinner in this league, the creme de la creme, de la creme, if you don't take your chances, if you don't finish your dinner, you can get stung. And guess what? We stung you. Harry Kane, 96th minute, header, back stick, 2-2. We left there with something. And let me just ask you like this. If the shoe was on the other foot and Tottenham went up twice in a London derby against one of their fiercest rivals and ended up conceding a 96th minute, wouldn't the agenda be that Spurs have bottled it? Oh, you're Spursy. Oh, you're this. So why is no one not saying that about Chelsea? No. Why are people not saying that? Why?
Hang on, guys. Yeah. Sorry, Tom hasn't spoken much yet. What are you saying, Tom?
The issue that I have mainly, and I don't know about everyone else, is the way your goals came about. The second one should never have happened. If I do that to someone on the street, I'm getting arrested for what Romero done to Cucurella.
Maybe not Liverpool though, but anywhere else.
He sat there ragging him down to the floor, and the referee's not looking. VAR's having going to tell no play on. The first one, I think it's a foul. I think he goes through the leg first before he gets the ball. He does eventually get the ball, but he goes through his leg to get it. And something that I don't know if Chelsea fans have mentioned, what is Jorginho doing for that first one? Why is he trying to flick it over someone in his own penalty area? Why is he trying to yoga Benito it? You're Jorginho, know your place, your 5-yard passes, and you're outpaced by the referee. That's what you do on a football pitch. One of his fans, I don't know why he's trying it. It was just Chelsea battered as well. They absolutely
did. They battered us, and guess what? It's 2-2. Like at the end of the day, yes, we got battered. Yes, we got played off the park. No, because like
we'll get to Chelsea. I'll join you on Chelsea in a moment, brother. Don't worry about that. I'll join you on Chelsea in a second. But you've been sitting there rubbing them big ass hands, like you're rubbing like the crust out of them with your moisturizer, fam. Listen,
I was Colleen blushing at that.
Use Vaseline.
Keep it PG, man.
Use Vaseline. You won't have to like moisturize on stream that way. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be good one time for the morning. But anyway, forget your big ass hands right now. I'm talking about you and your big ass ego, bro. And this is what I'm saying, fam. It's because I would be backing you right now from the start if you had said, you know what, we've got a challenge on our head. You know what I mean? Going to the bridge is tough. You know what? I think we can do it, but we'll have to see. But you come with chess, saying you're gonna do it big. You know what I mean?
I talk my talk? That's what I felt. That's what I felt.
The thing is, if you, man, and the thing is, it wasn't like you guys were sick and you just and you got a draw. You guys were not good. That weren't no prime Conte ball, my brother. So
It wasn't.
you yes, you got a point out of it, but you gotta ask yourself, where was Harry Kane in all of this? Even though he did get a goal.
He scored. He got us something. Do you know what I mean? But no, that was good. I like that little Souness thing.
Yeah.
But no, to be fair to you, we weren't good yesterday. That's the worst I've seen us play. Chelsea had our number, and I sat there the first half thinking, fuck. Everything I've said is just like come back to bite me. I dissed Koulibaly, and he scored one of the techiest goals I've seen that you probably see all season. Hats off to him, because that volley was top draw. And if that was Suarez, Kane, or Salah that did that, we would have seen it about 100 times. So credit to him, and he actually looked quite decent. But Tuchel had our number in the first half. When Conte put in Richarlison and obviously went to a back four and then had 4 attackers, that's when you started to see the game shift.
He was offside as well. He was for the first one in the line of sight.
I don't know about that.
I don't think it's
because when Højbjerg took the shot, Mendy could see it, and even if you look at Mendy didn't even react. He didn't complain. He just got on with it. He knew he got beaten. You shouldn't get beaten from like 36 yards out. I'm sorry. Like, and again,
it wasn't 36 yards. 36 yards. What kind of exaggeration is that? No, listen.
Jorginho trying to flick it over.
You know what?
Go on, Roy. I know you were angry.
I've heard enough false narratives about this game. Let me just give you the facts as they are. We're clearly better than Spurs. It is so flipping obvious. You cannot think otherwise. Because
one game.
Bro, it doesn't matter.
You're good in that game, but I've seen you against all the other teams, and you've been
better than you. It doesn't matter.
But you raise your games bar. You raise your level.
It's okay, bro. It's okay, bro. You don't have to be on a level. You can be below the level of Arsenal, maybe with like United too if they improve. But you're not better than us. We're a superior side to you, and that game clearly showed it. Yes, you walked away with a 2-2 draw, and you know what? That happens. It's calm. Like I said, the referee had an agenda against us. He's been doing us so dirty. How many
please
years?
stop.
KJ, listen.
Guys, please let Roy speak. Sorry.
As respectfully as possible, a lot of you guys would have even seen it. Terry and KJ, you're United fans. When Maguire kicked Batshuayi straight in the privates, nothing happened. When he yanked down Azpilicueta when he went for the header, nothing happened. Clean. You're an Arsenal fan. What happened when Kovacic undeservedly got a second yellow card, got sent off, and cost us the FA Cup final? Who was the ref? Anthony Taylor.
I've not seen enough games.
When Gazzaniga basically karate kicked Alonso, what happened? It got given as a foul against Chelsea when it should have been a penalty. And thank God VAR turned that one over. It's clear that this referee has been leaving a negative imprint on our games consistently, and is still somehow allowed to referee our matches. And I'm so glad my manager, Thomas Tuchel, I love so dearly, has finally had the balls to call him out, because it's even been reported that the players have been feeling the same thing for so long now. Like, I don't like it when I see him refereeing on the games. The players don't like it. So the solution is very, very simple. Like, just keep him away from our games. There are plenty of refs in this country. Like, you can find other refs to ref our games. I don't want him refereeing our games.
Or maybe just win. Maybe just win the game.
Listen. Back to the football bit. Back to the football bit. Tuchel tactically outdid Conte, as he always does when he faces him. We completely outplayed them. And like I said, people thought, oh, our attacks shit. Oh, we've been crap for months. Oh, like, we've got Jorginho slow. Oh, like, Koulibaly's not going to be that good. And when it came down to it, I said, listen, people are writing too many false narratives about us. When it comes down to it, we will outplay them. We dominated them. And you know what? We didn't win. Cool. But we clearly showed who the better side is. And the better side is us. And that's why we'll finish above them, man.
Okay, can I just...
They got lucky.
Your attack is still too close. Your attack is still awful.
You didn't even earn your point. The ref gave
you
a point.
Please stop this.
The ref gave you a point, man.
Stop this.
It's a foul at least, if not a red card, man. The ref gave you the point. There's no point denying it because it's true.
I get that. Listen, Tom, firstly, their attack isn't toothless. They don't have anyone that can finish their dinner. They created so many chances. Forget the statistics. There was an example why stats don't even count in this game. There was a cross made by Raheem Sterling to the back post when Mason Mount running central, and it was a free header at the back post. That's a chance, in my opinion. It won't count as one statistically because nobody met the cross. But they ripped them limb from limb. They need someone clinical up front to put the balls in the back of the net, who can also keep the fluidity there, because they were brilliant yesterday, Chelsea. And equally, though, they did score 2 goals. How many goals on average have Spurs conceded per game under Antonio Conte?
A lot less than 2.
Not that many. Not that many.
I read a stat yesterday that said 0.8 per game.
Yeah,
So
not that many.
Chelsea scored more than double the amount of goals that Spurs have conceded on average per game since Conte arrived. Yes, they missed a couple of sitters, which like Kai Havertz needs to hold his head in shame over. They battered Spurs. Spurs ain't no title contenders. That is done out the water. Secondly, you ain't finishing no 10 plus points clear of Chelsea and Arsenal performing like that. Are you a good team? Yes, you are. Never denied that. Are you in the top 4 race? Absolutely. But this crazy narrative that's been created this year that Spurs are clear of Arsenal, Spurs are clear of Chelsea, for me, was answered in a large degree yesterday. You're in and around that level, but you ain't clear of them as an example. Onto the ref. Do I think there's a conspiracy where the ref goes out of his way to like target Chelsea? Maybe, maybe not. The reason I say that is because all clubs feel like there's a ref. Some clubs feel the same ref targets them. I just think he's a terrible referee.
It's not 50-50, Terry. I'm sorry. There's threads.
No.
Let me finish my point. Finish my point. Like, I'm not worried about that bit because
go on.
maybe it is more balanced. Maybe Chelsea get more bad from him than Arsenal get. But I've seen loads of fan bases when he's refereeing their games, he's name trending. My point is, loads feel it. Chelsea might get it the worst, but loads feel it. The first goal, yeah, I've seen the new camera angle where there was the smallest slither of touch on the ball, but you're not allowed to slide tackle from behind anyway. Like, win the ball or not, the amount of times you see foul, you can't tackle from behind. You haven't been able to tackle from behind since like 1983 or something, right? Firstly, that should have been a foul. I know there was loads of phases of play afterwards. Jorginho should have cleared it. I think Cucurella should have cleared it, to be fair, and it led to a goal. You can stomach a bad decision because you then went on to score. The second one is one of the most disgusting decisions I've seen in football since what's his name? Pedro Mendes has got Mendo, whatever his name was. The goal should have stood against Man United all those years ago. The fact the referee is looking at this, I mean, I'm going to put it in big. He is looking at this, okay? By the way, people said that the ball wasn't in play. You know the ball's in play. Look at the movement of the players on the right-hand side. No one does that when the ball ain't been kicked. The ball was in play. He pulls his hair to the ground. That is a straight red card. So taking it away a moment from who was unlucky, what should have happened, what shouldn't have happened, etc., 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 that isn't even an issue for me right now. The fact that this wasn't given as a straight red card, the fact that Romero isn't going to miss the next 3 games, is an abomination. I understand. I mean, not even a foul. The ball's in play. You can see it. Do you want to know another reason why I know the ball's in play? Look where everybody's looking. Everyone's looking at where the ball's about to land, not at the corner flag. When a corner's coming in, everyone's looking at the corner ready, and they do this. I've been to football matches. I've heard so many false narratives around this. That the ball's in play, it's a straight red card, and I'm not even someone that really focuses on refereeing decisions. But this one hit me different. It was when I saw the replay, I went, he's going to get a red card. It was one of those ones where you say it, and then you sit down and chill because of VAR. And when the game carried on, I thought to myself, they're going to score now. That's the way football is written. Now, I said yesterday, Spurs fans should have had a Mardi Gras last night. You Spurs fans should be on cloud 9. You stole it, right? And it's not even a dig. But Chelsea fans said Chelsea Football Club should be writing to the FA and the Premier League. They should be demanding the audios released because I thought they were doing that this season. I want to know what the VAR said to the referee. That should then, by the way, and I mean this, I know it's petty, but I mean it. Whatever is said, Chelsea should now go around on a football pitch all game, every game, next game, pulling everyone's hair because you can't get fouls for it. Chelsea should be arseholes about this because the FA, the Premier League, the referees have let them down. They've cost them 2 points. And in a season where I think top 4 races and title races are going to be separated by a minuscule amount, this might cost Chelsea a Champions League place. This might cost Chelsea a title. This might cost Chelsea something big, and it's disgusting. It's absolutely horrendous referee.
Even if the ball's not in play, it's a foul and a red card anyway because it's violent conduct. I don't see why people are using that as an argument. If the ball's out of play and I punch someone in the head, but ref, the ball wasn't in play, so like, you know, it's all good. Bro,
yeah.
it's a foul. It's
you know what? When I saw it, because I didn't see it in real time, so I will say Anthony Taylor may not have seen it. When you've got 22 people in a congested area, well, 21 because obviously the keeper our keeper is not in there. He might not have seen it. Yes, he's looking at that direction. It doesn't mean he's seeing that particular instance, but that's why we got VAR. And 100% that is a red card all day long. As soon as, like Terry said, as soon as I saw the replay, I was like, for fuck's sake, Romero, done and dusted.
So you're
It's a red
saying
card.
that you got robbed, Patrick?
Yeah, we got away with one, 100%. But I'll take it all day long because it happens to Spurs season in and season out. We get done by bad VAR calls all the time. That Eric Dyer handball against Newcastle, where his back was turned to the ball and it hit him, and we conceded a late 90th minute penalty. And after that, they actually changed the handball rules.
Yeah, they did. But the point is, but that handball was in the protocols and rules at the time. It was a terrible rule and law, but it was one. You know, Luke Shaw gave away a penalty last year to West Ham. We actually saved the penalty. That rule's now been scrapped. Like, that's one thing. But the rule states if you pull someone's hair, it's violent conduct and it's a red card.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
do you know what it is? There's two different conversations here. There's, did Spurs deserve something? No, but if I'm a Man United fan and we drew that game yesterday, I'm buzzing. I'm celebrating. What's bothering me today is Spurs fans trying to justify it. It's like, that isn't what football's about. Gloat in the glory of picking up points you didn't deserve to pick up. That's
I'm not, Terry. I'm not even trying to justify it. I 100% know we got away with one. What I'm disgusted with our performance because it wasn't good. But the point is, I'm actually proud of the boys to not roll over. In other seasons, that would have been 3 or 4-0. We actually stayed in the game, make sure we maintained. Obviously, it was a 1-goal margin. We stayed in the game, and obviously we came out with something. And I'm proud of the boys for that, man, because in past seasons we would have definitely got beaten. Our record at the bridge.
Sorry,
what? Sorry.
I'll go and continue.
Our record at the bridge is atrocious. We didn't get the win, but I'm glad that we got something. We left there with something. Chelsea fans should be annoyed. They should be frustrated. But also Chelsea need to look in the mirror. If you don't finish your chances, like I said, at this level, you can get punished. And it came back to bite them. Havertz missed a sitter. Raheem Sterling blasting over the basically fucking into the sky stands from 6 yards out. Loftus-Cheek not pulling the trigger. Like you said, Raheem Sterling missing that header at the back stick. There were so many times where Chelsea should have put the game to bed and they didn't. And it is what it is. It is what it is. And I hope I see Chelsea play like this week in and week out, because all of this talk that, we're clear of Tottenham, we're clear. No, you're not. This is the best you played in 2022. Until I see it week in and week out, I'm not hearing it.
That's not
because obviously, you raise your game, and this is what annoys me. We made Chelsea look like prime Barcelona, and yes, it happens year in and year out. But you lot have been crap all season. Sorry, all 2022. So until I see you lot play at this level week in and week out, I'm not hearing it. That's it, man. That's what I got to say.
We made you look shit, by the way. The fact that we're so much better than you was why you look so bad.
So much better. You finished 3 points above us last season. You finished 3 points above us last season. And
we're better than you.
Yeah, so cool. Cool. We'll see. We'll see.
Pat, I want to say something quickly to you. You know, when you're assertive like that, you're really sexy. It's so good, man. Hey, listen, you know all the insecure man out there going, "Oh no, that's sus." Don't be so insecure. When you're like that, Patrick. I know there's women watching. They're like, "That's the man I want to take home to daddy on Sunday dinner." Like, you should do more of that, my friend. I like it when you're assertive like that, bro. Let's go to the super chats here. Let's go to the super chats. Patrick, where's all that chest that you were talking with? You lot are not coming third.
I've been talking with chest. I'm here, man. I'm right here, my bro. I'm right here. Until you lot wanted to humble me and you haven't. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
I just heard breaking news about our request to not have Anthony Taylor ref our games. So it said Premier League Chiefs are not entertaining Tuchel's demand that Taylor doesn't referee matches involving Chelsea again.
Fantastic.
So if next time you
but the thing is, Roy, they literally can't do that.
Imagine they admitted it.
Yes, they
can't.
They can't do that. 5 years, man. I'm not trying to hear that, man. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm sorry, man.
Roy, I know you're frustrated, but they can't do it because if they say that, they admit there's corruption or he's cheating. They can't. They won't ever say it.
It's just a string of shit.
And also, Roy, you can argue that you having one ref that doesn't ref you, but they ref everyone else, is cheating as well. Everyone gets the same ref, bro. Like,
they can't
do that.
Hey, I'm sorry, but if there isn't an issue with other clubs and like there is with us, then what you said isn't an issue. I'm sorry, man.
So if I wanted, could I ask the one Could we ask the PL to give us the one ref that always gives us our decisions because it's favorable to us? Is that fair?
Thing is, no. One ref who's good for you is different from not wanting a ref who's bad for you, bro. Come on.
So should we sit there as Liverpool and say we don't want Paul Tierney reffing any of our games because
if you've got enough evidence and the proof's in the pudding, go ahead. But that's
not. You don't get special treatment. You lot are acting like some
elite. We're removing a negative. We're not trying to increase the amount of positive games.
No, it's a negative for you, bro. Not a negative for the league.
Thing is, how is it? Oh my goodness.
When it's a negative for the league, then chat to me, bro.
Like I said, it's 5 years. The proof's in the pudding, man. The proof's in the pudding. If you've got evidence about another ref being shipped to your club, bring it up with a Prem, man.
And you know what? Yeah, Graham Souness is still a Sky pundit, bro. And I got things about what he says about Paul Pogba. So you know what? We don't get what we want in life, innit? So just deal with it, fam.
If United fans said we don't want Souness on our Sky Sports games, it could happen.
What would happen?
If you made enough noise, I'm sure Sky Sports they'll do something about it. They'd even G-check him or just not put him on your game.
Right, start a protest. I'm sure you could do it. Start a protest, get online, do what Terry was saying. Take a leave out Terry.
Petition up or whatever.
Yeah, get a petition up.
Roy, do you really think? Do you honestly think that you're being mistreated by refs?
Not refs. Anthony Taylor specifically. 100%. The proof's in the pudding. I've already said it. He's fucked over against. Oh, fuck off. He fucked over against Tottenham twice, and Liverpool, and Arsenal, and United. I'm sorry, man. Proof's in the pudding. I'm not even.
Inject it, baby. Inject it. We're only 2 games in, and you're already feeling like this. It's mad.
It's not even a long term thing. I don't want this ref on our games.
Moving. Like Arsenal fans with their tinfoil hat, stop, my brother. It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
The thing is, like, if this case was questionable, I would get what you man are saying. But there's been too much. There's been too much for people to say, oh, he never does you guys dirty, or he never does anything.
No one says he does no one dirty,
pudding, my brother.
You know what? We're saying that he's just crap. Like, he's just bad.
Yeah.
Like,
but it wasn't his decision on the VAR call. It's not him that made that decision. That is whoever was in the VAR, Stockley Park, whatever it is. They're the ones that did it.
Patrick, I'm sorry. He was looking directly at that. There's no way he misses something like that. I'm sorry.
Wait, he might send a painting in the audience, isn't he?
Yeah, he might have done. Let's do some super chats here. Tuchel and Conte have been charged. But listen, I want to say quickly, that fight, that is rivalry. That is football. I'm not going to say it's a man's game. I'm not going to say it's a man's game. For everyone, but I love it when 2 men go at it.
Conte would bang him out, by the way. Tuchel's a skinny
Don't
dude.
kill me.
Honestly, you're not.
All Tuchel has to do is rip off that toupee, bruv, and Conte is gone, fam. It's running.
You can tell how low the stamps have dropped, because if Mourinho and Wenger were doing that was light compared to what their man used to do on the Twitter.
No, that was
we were grassroots.
When it happened in the studio yesterday, I was buzzing. It's the best part of the game. This comment here says United need to take a backward step to move forward. Yes, I agree.
Relegation.
I've already had that one there. Patrick, what game did you watch? You guys got dominated in. If our attackers weren't crap, you guys would have been slapped. Top 4 locked for Chelsea.
I swear I said all of that. Like, if you listen to what I said, I've done said all of that 100%. But like I said,
he done said it right there from man's going in from Alabama, and he done said it, brother. Any opinions on Mbappe? Prick. Behaviorally,
an idiot.
You need to fix up.
What's happened? I've missed it. What have I missed?
The arms, demanding of the penalty. Listen,
Mbappe, okay,
world-class talent, but his behaviour, one word, prick. That's it. Like,
no, it's not even the penalty that's my issue. It's the fact that he didn't get the ball on a counter-attack. And he just walked off.
His arm.
Flinging his arms. That makes no sense.
When your club president wants something, you have to give it to him, innit? The club president's on the football pitch, fam.
I know you're being sarcastic, but stop defending it. Like,
I'm not defending him. He's been a dick for that.
You're a good Christian. You're a good Christian man. That is not the attitude. I swear there's something in the Bible. There must be a verse about not behaving like that, bro, in your Bible thing. You know what I mean? There must be a little thing. Jesus must have had an opinion on that. Do you know what I mean? The amount of disrespect CR37 is getting now is criminal. CR7 must be pissed. Inter Milan chose to get Lukaku. Listen, CR7, people are angry that CR7 is getting crap today. He shouldn't be getting crap for him not wanting to be there. the club should be. But equally, I told everyone 3 weeks ago in a video that keeping Ronaldo was going to disrupt this rebuild. It's already happening. You don't keep players at clubs. There's a reason that Pep gets rid of players that don't want to be at his club, because it creates disharmony. United fans' job was to stand by your manager, not to be a Twitter tactico or FIFA expert. Would fans expect 2 years, 8th, 10th for Ten Hag to change the culture of the squad? Listen, if we finished 10th and 8th and 10th and then went on to win the league title in 3 years, I'd be happy. I'm not worried. Like someone said to me the other day, I'm just a glory hunter. All I care about is winning. Find me a rant of mine recently where I've spoke about winning. In the last 3 or 4 years, like not winning the game, but like find where I've mentioned that I'm angry because we're not winning trophies and not challenging. It's all about how we're run, how we disrespect the working classes, how we disrespect the origins of the football club, how we disrespect the millions of working class people globally that pump money into the football club. I'm all about the culture of the game. Football is culture. Football is so much of my being, and my I don't go into this too much, but so much of my life and what I've been taught centers around football and around sports and around the social impact of the game as well. People say that it's just football. It isn't just football. And of course, there are more important things in the world than this. But locally and socially, this is a very important thing that needs to be treated right. And when billionaires infiltrate it and rip it away from you and destroy it, instead of advancing, some billionaires come in and make it better, and they need to be respected. Some come in and make it worse, and they need to be called out. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. Can't wait to see this match on the Tottenham DVD. That's a good banter. Robbery. Yes. Spurs are not soft anymore, is what
my man.
Love, you man were flaccid in your attack yesterday, though, bruv. Honestly,
yeah, but we didn't roll over. We didn't get bullied. We basically gave as good as we got.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Spurs fans are speaking in hypotheticals. It doesn't matter who's showing up with their best or worst. That's why you play the game, is what Moose Wizard says. If Xhaka did that, what Romero did to Terry, pre-hair transplant, there wouldn't have been no hair to grab. Now, if anyone grabs my hair now, I'm sorry to stand, I will spark their plugs. If Anthony Joshua touched my hair now, I'm knocking him out. No, I'm joking. AJ, I love you. I wouldn't really hit you. I wouldn't want to break my wrist. But what I'm saying is, like, don't touch his hair like this.
All right, welcome, Terry. I'm just going to say this on behalf of 4 people on this channel.
Hairline.
Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world. Don't touch our hair.
And when you say welcome, but when you say welcome,
you got it.
I'm about to say you youngsters a lot. Oh, I haven't lost my hair. Some of you are going to. You lot are all younger than me. I can't wait for some of you man to start getting bored so I can laugh at you.
Yeah, Patrick's already there. Don't worry about it. What do you think wears?
No, Patrick. I've seen a picture. Patrick had that hairline when he was 4. Raheem Sterling is a man. As a man, has the biggest batty.
So random. What a waste of your money, man. Why did you send that in?
Listen, maybe the guy. Listen, we're an all-inclusive channel. If you like Raheem Sterling's batty, you're allowed to like batty.
Midnight Vibes 2 years ago, episode 15, best back off in the Premier League. Raheem Sterling.
That did happen. I think what's better than his back off, I think it's the curve. The curve. I always say like that. That curve is.
Wait, you telling me he's got a British show?
That curve created 2 divorces for me. That's all I'm saying. Like, watching the game back, Chelsea dominated the midfield, but we need to have. But we had chances that were just as good, and we need more shots on target. Could have nicked all 3. Yeah, Spurs had chances. There's no doubt, but if Loftus-Cheek went on that pitch and you had someone better than Kai Havertz, it would be different. One game is no argument. Champions League final is one game, is what Moose Wizard says. Dennis here says, even as an Arsenal fan, I will admit that Anthony Taylor has something against Chelsea. I've seen him give a lot of wrong decisions against them. None of our signings started. Kane, Son, Davis, and Sessegnon all missed chances. Chelsea dominated the midfield on the day where they didn't play well. That doesn't mean you can't finish above them this season. Listen, Josh, you're my boy. I love you. You're one of the first people that started calling in, super chatting, and doing all that. You helped change my life, and I love you. But shut up. No, I'm joking, Josh. I'm joking. You're scary. You're scary. I've been out with you. I'm only joking. Now, listen, you could still finish above them. I'm just not predicting it, my guy. Don't know why people are judging Spurs so early when the same could be said for Chelsea. They still have no clinical edge. It's a fair point. I'm going on history. That's what I'm doing it on. Terry, you're saying like we have to play Chelsea away all the time this season. We know we're Spurs. We know we're not good away at Chelsea. But stats-wise in 2022, Spurs are the third best team in the league points-wise. That's true. But, you know, there was a period from like 2018 to like 2021. Third best manager in the league was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but none of you said he was the third best manager in the league.
I literally about to say, football fans love to get these time periods that make our team look good.
The stats which make Newcastle look better than us, but nobody would predict them to finish above us.
Yeah, because they don't have the players and they don't have the capabilities. We do.
Neither do you. So what now?
We do.
I do. We do. They all do. Mike Dean was on VAR. Tuchel wanted to pull Conte's artificial hair. It's not artificial, it's real. It's just repositioned.
Wait.
Was the best thing yesterday. We need more of that, is what Original Base Annie says.
How could Mike Dean no longer a ref no more and he still find a way to steal the flipping show?
He said the VAR. So
football laws do not specifically mention hair pulling. Okay,
that's rubbish, man.
It's right. I watch West Watch. There's nothing in hair pulling.
To be fair, he is right. Football laws probably also don't contain you're not allowed to bring a gun onto the pitch and shoot someone in the leg and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it was violent conduct.
Get him, Tom.
Yeah, it is a disgrace. You'll be banned for life.
It was literally a form of GBH.
I disagree with Rory, but I believe Anthony Taylor. He calls you Rory Roy.
I'm not Rory. I don't want to be like Rory. If you know me.
I love Rory Jennings. Is amazing. Any fan on this panel can name a big mistake he has made for them. I can't. I don't ref, but he probably has made one.
No, that's the same for all referees, though, man. None of them are human. None of them are perfect. They're all human.
Refs are human.
Right, bro. I think the first one was right. Kane said he's happy to score the winning goal. No, he didn't say that, did he?
He did.
I'm happy to score the winning goal, and I'm gonna go home and do my coaching.
It was great to score a last-minute winner. That's what he said.
Oh no! That's how small you are. Does Patrick still want us to respect Spurs?
I'll have the last laugh. To be fair, I've had the last laugh. Like, we walked off, we were shit, and you still couldn't beat us, and that was the best you lot have played. So
well done. You said you were going to beat us. You said you were going to beat us, and you didn't.
But we were poor. We were poor. I admit that. But you still didn't get the W.
Yeah, Patrick. When we go to your gaff, and we somehow miraculously get 1 point. I don't want to hear nothing about celebrating draws.
You do. As bad as Man United are, they're still going to beat Spurs.
I can't even say. Yeah,
Terry, United, we beat any of these teams this season. It's gonna be. I'm going.
You're definitely not beating us.
I hear you on that, guys. I want to change the mood to a transfer story. This is a real interesting one. There's reports coming out today that Arsenal and Man United, along with Juve, West Ham, and Ati plus Bayern Leverkusen, they're not going to get him, are all interested in tracking 20-year-old Caicedo, who Brighton obviously only spent 4.5 million on. I know they only bought him in January, but Caicedo's a baller. Like,
Terry,
go on.
This is what annoys about this football club. When Brighton signed him, we was flipping linked to him, flipping first. He's a flipping United fan. Was wanting to come and join us, and we were sitting there like, 4.5 million. That's a bit much. Now it happens again. Every time we're linked to a player that's either younger, up and coming, we can get for cheap, and we can develop them. We always stumble on the price, think it's too much, allow them to go to another club, and now we're gonna have to pay 45, 50 million, 60 million to get him out of that club that beat us to him when we could have got him in the first place. Jude Bellingham, Haaland, Caicedo, flipping Alvarez. Now you've got Sesko as well. When's it gonna end, Terry, bro? I'm tired of this always happening, man. Like, people complain about our scouting, yes, fine. But when we actually find good talent, this board never flipping does it. Yes, put my face on Will Phil's face, and Will Smith's face, I'll look the same. That's why pain.
No, I hear you. Caicedo to Arsenal though. You're calling interest in Tillemans. I mean, would you like to see this guy at your club, Colleen?
I mean, of course, I think he's a great player, but I don't even want to draw myself into it because I just don't think it's even realistic. I'd be very surprised if Brighton sell him now, unless unless anyone overpays. And I just
What's
don't.
the rumored fee? Has anyone come out with a
No fee yet.
They haven't really. No fees come out, but I get your point. But I look at this player and I haven't seen him have a bad game. I've maybe watched 10 games.
Have you watched 10? Have you watched 10?
I've about 10. Maybe it might be 9. It might be 11.
Down there, we have to be careful. You know what I mean?
Every time
Do you even watch the Premier League? Just to make sure.
I don't watch it. No, I don't. What I do is I just read Twitter and then do my videos based on what everyone on Twitter says.
Cool. Just wanted
I've been doing that for all these years. 250,000 subs. Do you know what I mean? Living the high life. Hair transplant. Thank you all. Do you know what I mean? I don't even watch the games. In fact, I don't even watch football. I hate it. It's a rubbish sport. But I started doing YouTube content. I started doing YouTube content on rugby, and nobody watched. So I switched to a bigger sport. The same as some people switch to bigger clubs. You know what I mean? It's one of them ones.
Oh,
Caicedo, what are you saying? I mean, he could get into Chelsea's team. He could get into United's team. He could get into Arsenal's team. He could get into Liverpool's team.
No, he's not getting into our team.
Oh, shut up, you mug.
Wait. With the fact that you've got 3 men who are your main midfielders, and 2 of them are basically injury prone at this point.
If everyone's fit, he doesn't get in. He'll be a good rotation option, though. But if you mean consistent starter, he's not getting into our team. But I do like him.
You could play. This is what I don't get, Warren. You say you've got an eye for talent. You're better than Tuchel, but yet Caicedo is not a man for you. Okay, cool.
No, then I like him. He's a good player. When I've watched him, he's been good. But you said he would get into our team, and when Terry said that, I mean, if everyone's fully fit, is he starting for us? And the answer is no, and that's okay. Because plenty of quality midfielders wouldn't. But I still like him as a player.
But your main DM isn't ever fit.
Jorginho's our main DM, and he's
okay. All right. I'm talking Kante. Kante ain't fit anymore. That man's shot. That man is that. If that guy was a racehorse, they'd have put him down.
Honestly, though,
and then we do have injury prone.
You guys do need to move on from Kante, not because he's terrible, but his body is breaking down slowly, bro.
I've always said about Kante, this high volume style he plays, where he covers so much ground in these and everyone's faces, is fantastic, but you're beginning to see the effects of it. So I feel like if we want to keep him fit and still maintain his effectiveness, either we need to change his position so he sits, or when he is playing further forward, we need to just tell him to chill out sometimes, because running around like that at 31 is always going to lead to more injuries naturally.
Who are the best DMs in the league? Defensive style midfielders. Who are they?
Rodri,
Fabinho, Rice, Partey. Yeah. Who else is there? I don't really have Basuma as a DM, because I feel like
he's more of a box to box. Yeah, he's more of a box to box.
Everyone's a box to box nowadays.
Well, let me give you an example. So Declan Rice, right? Declan Rice averages, right? There's a reason I'm doing this, right? Declan Rice averages 1.8 interceptions per game, 2.2 tackles per game, 0.4 possessions won per game, gets dribble past 0.9 times per game, 1.4 clearances. I'm talking defensive attributes here. Caicedo, 2.5 interceptions per game, 4 tackles per game, possession won 0.9, dribble past a little bit more to be fair, 1.9, clearances 2 times per game, 0 errors leading to goals, 0 errors leading to shots, 0 penalties committed. Passing, you look at his passing as an example. His passing accuracy is at only 80%, so that's obviously got to improve 92% of someone like a Declan Rice. But you look at the defensive attributes of a Caicedo and you think to yourself, the geezer's a phenom. And Brighton aren't being attacked more so than West Ham. People aren't sitting back people don't sit low block against West Ham and open up against Brighton. This teams that everybody opens up against. And it's kind of he's so good. I just think he's underrated. So underrated. I know he's only been here since January, but he costs 4.5 million. I reckon a 30-40 million pound bid gets him. And I look at it from a United point of view. He's better than Fred. He's better than McTominay as a DM. There are players out there we could buy to improve our team right now. Caicedo's one of them. Buy
100%. We need to buy him.
Goddamn money.
We just need bodies in there.
Do Brighton really want to sell him, considering they already sold Basuma and he signed in January?
They probably won't sell him. But if there's a chance, you take it. Even Arsenal, who you can say don't really necessarily need him to be a starter, or Chelsea, who don't need him to be a starter, you still do it because there's opportunity there.
Yeah.
Like, he's only going to make his stock rise and rise. And with a player like that, you just need to take the chance. And as Man United, we desperately need it, bro. I've actually come across to the idea of Rabiot. I've come around to it. Like,
wow, standards. This
is how peak it is.
Go away, KJ.
Oh wow, you deleted him.
No way you removed him.
KJ, you're gonna get an email tonight from HR. I'm terminating your contract.
You can't do that, Terry. There's laws about this. But honestly, I'm on my knees, bro. You know what I mean? I'm on my knees, R&B style, crying in the rain, open white shirt, begging, pleading for a midfielder. That's where I'm at right now, fam.
Fans are truly in hell if you're accepting Rabiot. 2022 Rabiot, not even World Cup year.
Yeah, 2022 Rabiot.
Honestly, I'm more excited about the drama that his mum's going to create. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them.
I can imagine her beefing Ten Hag after a game when he subs him off after 60 minutes because he had a stinker.
I hear that. We got some super chats here. This one here says Patrick makes Igao look like Notre Dame.
That's really
yeah.
Raheem the Arch Sterling. Romero thought Cucurella was his wife. The irony, we get robbed by Anthony Taylor to get linked to Anthony Gordon.
That is the worst. By the way, that is the worst transfer I've seen.
Nah, he's good.
It's not linked. They put a bid in for him. It's not linked. They've actually put a bid in.
They are.
Anthony Gordon.
If his name was Antonio Gordandinho, you'd be going, "Oh, it looks like."
No, I'd be thinking this guy's not good enough.
No.
Like,
you know what it is, Terry. You know what it is.
He hasn't even been proven to be better than Hudson-Odoi. So why would we spend 50 million?
Raheem Sterling, more expensive than Raheem Sterling.
Thank you, Tom.
Nah, you know what it is, Terry. They're not built like Rooney no more, bro. If he was built like Rooney, with a skinhead.
If man looked like Shrek at 16, you'd be loving him.
I even hear about. Imagine going to the Bernabeu with Anthony Gordon starting an R11. Like, come on, let's be serious.
Come on now. He's very, very talented. He's better than Cho.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Cho is a bum. Cho is a bum.
Cho's done nothing in like 4 years.
Absolute
I don't know why we're trying to rate Anthony Gordon.
He's so mid, man.
Nah. Yo, Tom, you should be quiet, man, because Anthony Gordon is exactly who Liverpool will sign when you lose Salah, bro.
In fairness,
Everton would never sell him to Liverpool.
You and Anthony Gordon look very alike.
No.
You know what it is? Oh, nah. Anthony Gordon's one of your ups, isn't it? Like, you went to school with my brother, innit? You know what I mean?
That's the same age, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what it is.
Did he steal your girl?
Oh, makes sense now.
When Tom got dropped from the Everton Academy and Gordon got promoted,
I was never that good. Fuck that. I was never Everton standards.
That's what she said. You were never that good. You know what I mean? She left the place up. That's what happened. You know what I mean? Thoughts on Gordon to Chelsea? 50 million asking price. Doesn't seem clear of Cho. I don't think he'll pay that much. But listen, whether he's better than Hudson-Odoi or not, Hudson-Odoi is done as an elite level footballer. He is never ever making it. Chelsea Football Club, you could have got 60 million pounds from instead. You didn't take 60 million pounds. You paid him 200 grand a week to not score an assist. He's so overrated. He's a very honestly. If he's football, if he was as good as football as he is good looking, you'd have a world class player on your hand. He's a stunning looking man. He's got he is literally the reason eye test merchants all passed away last year. He looks good. He doesn't do anything. There's nothing in his game. Why don't your manager play him then? Why don't he play him? And why doesn't he score an assist?
Okay. Firstly.
Yeah.
GA is not everything. GA is not everything. Yes, his GA.
Whoa!
Stop.
Stop. Find me a top class attacking player, an inside forward or a striker in the last 20 years who didn't have good goals and assists.
I mean, that's cool.
Find me a good one who didn't have good goals and assists.
Okay.
What do you mean? How can an attacker not have
Terry, I'll Google it. I'll Google it when we finish the stream.
Every game.
And I'll bring it to you for the next top six that I'm on. But like I
No,
was saying,
you
Hudson
can't. You can't name me
Hudson-Odoi,
top class attacker,
Hudson-Odoi.
inside forward or striker that doesn't have good GA over the last 20 years. Can't name one.
Okay, but the thing is, not having it doesn't mean you're not good. Like,
Yes, it
I
does.
still think
Your
Hudson-Odoi
job is to
a good
score
player.
and assist. Your job is to
Can't
score
be
and
a job.
assist.
Listen,
He doesn't
listen,
score.
listen.
He doesn't assist. He's bang
Sorry,
average.
I don't want you to lose your voice. You work so hard for us, and I don't want your content to take a hit.
My
because you lose your
content
voice.
is at the peak
So
of its powers. Don't worry about
your
my voice.
content is
Don't deflect.
fantastic, but I don't want
Don't
a.
deflect.
I
Answer
don't
the
want.
question,
I
Roy.
don't want you to
Roy,
lose your
answer the
voice.
question.
I'll
Answer the
answer the
question.
Okay.
You can't
Let's
answer
use
it because you
roll
know
indoors. Let's do indoor voices. Roll indoors. Let's use indoor voices. That's better. Anyway, with Hudson-Odoi, like, you know what? Tuchel doesn't play him enough. That's cool. But I also think it's a club thing where he's got 30, 40, 50 million pound players who will kick up a lot more of a stink if they're not playing than if Hudson-Odoi, who's an academy player.
Hang on. So
And when Hudson-Odoi has played,
you're saying Hudson-Odoi isn't playing because your club got
No.
divas in.
I never said that. I just said that's.
Yes, you did.
I believe that's part of the
Yes, you
reason.
did.
I believe that's part of the reason, not directly the reason.
So you're saying your manager's a yes man and bows down to player power?
No. Okay.
Yes, you
In
did.
terms of on the pitch, I still think he's very creative. You know what? His finishing needs to improve. I hear it, but he's still a creative player. He's still a very progressive player. He's still a good passer, and I don't believe he's done. I don't believe he's done at the top level. And for you to say that, I just think it's completely wrong.
Listen. I don't agree with Terry saying that he's done at the top level because we never know. He's still like what 21, 22. He's still
He's 21.
Yeah, 21. Cool. But his career at Chelsea has looked like he just got a man from Power League and sees what happens when you get one of the man that they play. That's what it looks like.
Ruptured his Achilles. He ruptured his Achilles, and then he hasn't.
3 years ago.
He hasn't really got that burst since.
Yes, so
he's done
this.
this.
He's
You know what?
the best asset. What's the point?
No, you know what?
His
No,
career
no,
at Chelsea is
no.
done, definitely.
Like I said with
Because-
Hudson-Odoi, as in he broke in at a good time and he broke in at a bad time because when he broke into the team, we still had Hazard and Hudson-Odoi was never playing over him, so he didn't really get many minutes. But when he played, he did impress. And then he ruptured his Achilles, and that takes a long time to get back your athleticism you had before.
Not at 19 years old.
It's even worse at 19 years old.
Harvey Elliott broke his ankle, came back, and looked the same guy in a season.
He's a central midfielder. He's not a winger. Come on, let's use
context.
context.
I'm someone that backed Hudson-Odoi and said he needed game time. I've seen Hudson-Odoi play enough before the rupture and after the rupture. There's skill, there's technique. He looks good. You're on the edge of your seat, and at the end of it, there's niche. And when you're
needs to improve, I believe in consistent game time in a
He's
good
just a
system.
skinny Adama Traore. That's all he is.
When you're
Skinny.
when you're an attacker, all that matters at the end of the day is creating chances and scoring goals. That's your job. That's your job.
Nah,
I still think there's a player there.
Roy, you just need
There
to
is a
like
player
me
there,
and
but not at
Rashi.
Chelsea. Not at Chelsea.
Like me and Rashi and me and my wonderful players that I love at United. We have to let it go, bruv. He ain't make it. He ain't doing it at United, bruv. Like he has to rejuvenate his career at United, at Chelsea. He's not rejuvenate. He needs to rejuvenate his career away from Chelsea, and that's fine, bruv. Like
I think he needs a loan, to be honest. If he gets a loan, consistent Premier League
loan. Do you know when a player? How many players have gone out on loan more than once? It's where he's been on loan before, and then made it at your club at the highest level.
He's never been on loan.
He's never been on loan. Okay, how many players go on loan and make? How many players, like on a percentage, go out on loan and then come back to your club and then make it at the highest level? Like there are
Mason Mount did, Trevor Chalobah did.
Chalobah. No, hang on. When I say make it at the highest level, I've seen first teamers that are consistently winning you and challenging for league titles and Champions League. Now Mason Mount and Reece James did, right? You can't put Chalobah in that yet. Like Chalobah ain't done shit yet for you guys. He's playing, but he ain't one of your first team.
What about Loftus-Cheek? He's gone out on loan.
Yeah, Loftus-Cheek's great. Loftus-Cheek's won the league. He's won the Europa League.
When I say percentages, don't name me 2 or 3 players. Show me the amount of your youngsters that go out on loan to how many play in your team and give me a percentage. It's less than 3% at all clubs. Very few people do. When you start loaning players out, most don't make it, especially when they've already had 3 or 4 seasons in your first team. Find me an example of 5 players in the Prem that have had 3 or 4 seasons in the first team, then been loaned out, come back, and then been and achieved their original standard that everybody expected. The answer is less than 1%. The chances of Callum Hudson-Odoi making it, he's got as much chance as me making it in the NBA.
I mean, if you work hard enough, it's possible.
No, it's not. You have got, bruv. Why are you on your knees for him, bruv? He ain't gonna sleep with you.
Listen. Firstly, I don't want him to sleep with me. Secondly, I just believe there's a player there, and especially when our attack is so starved of a creative.
Your attack isn't starved of creativity. It's not creativity that you lack.
Yeah.
You create all the chances. You just can't kick it in the net.
Realistically, I don't even give a shit about that GA, to be honest, because there's so many ways you could contextualize that I'm not really trying to hear it.
Okay,
when our attack is lacking a creative forward so badly, and Hudson-Odoi is a creative player, whether you like it or not, he's a creative player. That's why I still believe in him.
I'd say this. This guy's a member and reckons, and I respect you for putting this comment in. He reckons 40% of Chelsea's loanees have made it to the highest level at Chelsea's first team.
No.
No. How is
you need a calculator for that?
You loan out about 20 people a year. That means like how many? What's 40% of that? That means like 8 of them are coming back in and being first team regulars for the next decade. That ain't happening.
No. It's way less than that. It's way less than that. It's way less than that.
But I just think he's done for me, bruv. I think he's done.
Telly, you know when you say done, just to add some context to that, at Chelsea or you saying Premier League?
No. Okay, let me be very contextual. I think he's done at Chelsea, and I don't think when we think top teams, City ain't buying him, Liverpool ain't buying him, Arsenal ain't buying him, Spurs ain't buying him. He's done at the elite level.
Now, low key, I could see Arsenal buying him. To be fair, they do need another winger, and
another winger, not just any winger, KJ.
Oh, but you man are still working for Pepe. I think any winger will do, bro.
No.
Listen. Callum Hudson-Odoi's CV shits on everyone in the Arsenal squad. He'd be their best winger. I'm not trying to hear
he ain't better. He's not better than Saka. He's not better than Martinelli.
Saka, tell him to put Champions League on the table, man.
Wait.
Roy's on smoke. Roy's on smoke.
What do you mean sat on the bench? Hudson-Odoi scored 4 goals in the Champions
taking
League,
his medal
man.
to the flipping barbers, bro. After doing nothing with the Champions League.
Saka never scored in the 4-0 win against Juventus, man.
Nathaniel Phillips has a Champions League winners medal. So is he best than Caicedo, Koulibaly, or whoever else you want to throw at me? Nat Phillips
based on your little thing there, because he was not involved in winning it for you. That means
Hudson-Odoi was involved.
That means Riyad Brewster is a better striker than the original Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
Mad comment. Spurs celebrate a draw versus Arsenal celebrating a win, is what Johnson's got to say.
Context is we got a 96-minute equaliser. Of course, you're going to celebrate that. Come on, man. Got to be serious.
Would he really want to move to United as Brighton are in a better place?
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
It's true.
Very true.
Please invite big. Listen, when it comes to there being no Man City fans on here, the only person accountable for that is KJ. KJ gets the talent on, not
I've
me.
given the names, man.
Wait, bro, fam, you've not given me any names, fam.
But I don't need to be good. Bro. Just watch the show from the start. Terry, your rant on the Glazers and sponsorship was spot on. You are an effing man, my bro. Listen, do you know how I know I'm spot on? Because I'm right about everything. That's how. No, I'm joking. I just think it's the one thing we haven't tried. And listen, I know it's hard for a lot of fans to walk away. I've said it already on the show, but trust me, it will work. Roy, how can you not name Kante in the top DM in the Prem, but still
Kante's not DM firstly?
But still rate Odoi? Bro, you're sounding like Ty now, especially with your scouting powers. Callum Hudson-Odoi should have been sold when Bayern offered 70 million.
100%.
Absolutely.
I agree in hindsight, but it doesn't
mean
definitely.
You'd be lucky to get 7 million. You'd be lucky to get 7 million for him.
I agree. I think when we got the offer, we should have sold him. But now I still don't believe he's done for us.
We'll see. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, a massive. I know we actually didn't get onto Liverpool, but we're doing a match reaction to Liverpool.
Don't worry, you can have a quick one.
Before we leave,
wait, is Nat Phillips actually playing?
Yeah, Nat Phillips is starting. Joe Gomez is injured. So we
are wow. You know, I need to check
Listen. You see all these Liverpool fans
in the midfield. Mm-hmm.
You see all these Liverpool fans being like, "Oh, it's at Crystal Palace away. Oh, at home. I just want to get the 3 points. Just 1-0. If we're lucky, we can do it." Shut up, man. Shut up. Liverpool fans should fear no one in this league bar Man City, and that is it. The way you man flipping go around acting like you're some hard done by team with all these things going on, and you're lucky to come out with a point after every flipping game is a disgrace. Tom, touch your fan base. They're communists, allegedly. And
allegedly.
I am tired of them being sissy boys. You guys are one of the best teams in the flipping world.
I normally agree, but I'm going to have to spend 90 minutes tonight watching Nathaniel Phillips play Premier League football in a Liverpool shirt again. 90 minutes of that. Our bench, it's second game of the season, and our bench has 4 kids on it. Second game of the season.
You know what, yeah? Mate, you know what? I was wrong. Sonny, NFC Sonny, if you're watching, my brother, I was wrong. Give me Nat Phillips over Maguire today. Give me Nat Phillips right now.
You're not serious, man.
Listen, people,
we haven't got an attacker on the bench. Firmino, we haven't got an attacker.
It's going to be a great game. Listen, we're back live after Liverpool versus Palace tonight. The only place to be is a football terrace. Even if you're a rival, please turn up for the match reactions for all of the top 6 clubs. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon.